Go get it! What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Tucker and the Beard. This and every episode is brought to you by
Our respective real estate businesses. We are both top producing agents in the Prescott area, serving both buyers and sellers.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or if you would like to become a sponsor for the show, you can call Tucker at
928-710-4690 or the Beard at
928-910-5954. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. We really appreciate it, and we rely on your support. So you can obviously find us on Facebook, but you can also find us on YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes for the audio-only version of our podcast. And it would really mean the world to us if you would take a minute to rate and review us on iTunes and head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that little bell for notifications. We love Facebook, but they're not always the best delivery method for our content. You're not going to see everything that we put out. But YouTube does a really good job of that. So,
yeah. So give us a like and everything like that. But enough business. Let's get to the show.
Let's go. Welcome back.
We're back.
Did we ever go anywhere?
Feels like we did.
Okay.
We're all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
We're everywhere. You wish you were.
Is that some
I don't know.
credit card?
Probably.
Something?
Discover.
Everywhere.
Not a sponsor.
Oh, everywhere you want to be.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, back in the studio.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Long day.
It's been
It's not
quite
over,
the day.
but it's been a long
We're
day
getting there.
already.
We're getting there. So, yeah. How you doing, man?
Doing fantastic.
Busy?
Yes, sir.
I think we both are.
Had some big news. We
I think
got
I got it.
We got to fly in the studio.
Shoot fly. I just wanted an excuse to hit you.
Yeah, he just wanted to hit me. He hasn't hit me in a while.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It's one of those things.
lightening the abuse
Just
load.
Tell
I
me it's a
appreciate it.
doorknob. I don't know.
No,
We've got a bunch of things
exciting
going on.
news in the world of movies and entertainment.
Yes. Well, we're
so
back with,
much came out from Comic-Con in San Diego.
I know. Last week we reviewed some Lion King and had some guests, so we weren't able to really break into this without, my son probably.
And we genuinely hope that you've enjoyed the last few weeks of purely family-friendly entertainment.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a
Because
little.
the next couple weeks ain't that.
No, today is not that.
We're gonna jump into the new Tarantino film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood here in just a little bit, but there's bigger news.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
more things I would like to discuss than
things that I'm
that movie. No, and we'll get into that. But yeah, we had some San Diego Comic-Con news.
Tons of new trailers.
They dropped it hot.
Dropped this week. We've got news on direct-to-streaming properties that are coming up with. We've got Hawkeye and Falcon.
With the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Or Falcon and Winter Soldier, excuse me.
And Loki and the What If, which I'm intrigued by.
Yeah.
That could either be a bomb or it could be, could be something interesting.
But basically,
cool
they've kind of boarded out the new Phase 4 almost entirely. There's still some question marks as to what's going to happen.
Well, there's a couple movies that they have confirmed that aren't in the lineup that they gave, but they did confirm.
Yes.
Just not time-wise.
Yeah, you think it's coming, and it's coming.
Right,
You
which
just don't know when yet.
was Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Mm-hmm.
and Black Panther 2. Also got
confirmed. And Thor.
Well,
But we kind of talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They really confirmed that.
They did confirm that one. But we have first one's going to be Black Widow movie. Then they'll release the Disney streaming and have Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then
Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming first, isn't it? Or did they move that
that's
release
going to be
I thought they were doing that at launch.
Black Widow is coming out May 1st, 2020. That's the first one. And then Falcon Winter Soldier is coming out fall of 2020.
Okay.
So about release time. I can't remember the date. We had a whole conversation about it, and I can't
Well, yeah,
remember.
because I mean, the new Disney Plus launches mid-November of this year.
Right. So it's going to come.
So I know there was at least some rumors that was going to be amongst the launch.
Yeah. So that should be
there.
Next is going to be movies coming out November. Looks like 6th, 2020 is The Eternals. I don't have. Oh, I don't know
much about it.
I know they're kind of, godly figures.
Yeah, kind of Omega level
right
characters. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Honestly, a lot of Phase 4, I don't have any personal,
No, but you know what? I didn't have any personal favoritism for the Guardians.
Yeah.
Before they showed up.
Yeah, same here.
So I'm greatly looking forward to being exposed to some new characters that I'm not necessarily familiar with.
Yeah. Then February 12th, 2021 is Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, which is going to involve the Mandarin and the actual.
Which will be
Mandarin.
cool for them to actually jump into that instead of giving it the blah treatment that they gave it in Iron Man.
Yeah,
3.
I was kind of a fan of Ben Kingsley actually being the Mandarin, and then they just Quentin Tarantino that thing and just
it was like, oh yeah, it's a thing that happened,
and he's just an actor, so
yeah.
It's like spring 2021 we have WandaVision on Disney Plus. And then May 7th, which I don't even know how they're going to do WandaVision, but I'm intrigued to check it out.
Well, I think from what I heard, it's going to be, they kind of go away after the events of Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Vision didn't make it, though. He's still dead.
No, but this is going to encompass the time between Age of Ultron and Infinity War.
I see them spending some time together.
Yeah, it's going to be about their adventures during
cool.
that several-year period. So there's still some content that can be had there for sure.
May 7th, 2021 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is
Some of these are starting to sound like amusement park rides.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really intrigued by that. I know Wanda from WandaVision is going to also play a part in that.
Okay.
Then spring 2021 on Disney Plus we have the Loki television show, which is going to be after he disappeared in Endgame.
Yeah, that when
what
he
happens
in that timeline.
Right.
Right.
Then summer 2021 we have the What If on Disney. It's going to be like, what if this happened? What if Captain America would have joined Hydra? Kind of.
It's essentially, you remember when Doctor Strange was going through the however many millions of possibilities?
Right.
It's like they could make that many episodes of that.
Right. What if this
and see how that all goes down.
Yeah. Fall 2021 is going to be the Hawkeye television show, streaming show, which he doesn't get enough little fanfare.
I'm kind of interesting to see how they use him as a standalone character.
I hope it's him just going around during that 5 years just murdering people.
Just murking people, just taking his revenge.
And then November 5th, 2021 is Thor Love and Thunder. Sounds like another amusement park, right?
It does. It does.
Excited, Natalie Portman's back.
Yeah.
And she's going to be becoming Thor in some way. So I'm intrigued to see, because that's in the comic lines, again, don't have a whole lot, but she somehow
becomes
she
Thor,
gains the power of Thor, and so
see how it works out.
She's back.
See how it works out.
So that'll be cool.
No, but it's definitely exciting to see some announcements. Usually they're a little more, frankly, tight-lipped about this kind of stuff, but I think they're getting so much pressure from fans, to just know what's coming next.
Right. And again,
a large portion of our population.
Yeah.
Phases 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU encompassed people's entire childhoods.
Oh yeah. Well, and then
which is crazy to think.
Yeah, they again confirmed Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Black Panther 2, and then the one that's not on here as well is Blade. They're bringing back some Blade.
Blade looks sick. I'm excited for that.
And I can't pronounce that actor's name, but it'd be awesome. He was in Luke Cage.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
So
I'm actually looking forward to Blade
yeah.
more than I'm looking forward to
Oh yeah.
Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, I'm in.
For an example.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't probably put it in that in my. I'm excited to see if they do it like the first Blade movie.
Yeah, yeah. Blade
Still
2 and Blade
iconic.
Trinity, but the original Blade was
The whole
amazing.
intro of the first Blade movie is still one of the coolest
Absolutely
scenes ever. Like,
I agree.
it was on TV, and I was like, "Hold on, give
I
me
need
the
10
first."
minutes.
Yeah, just let me see the first scene, and yeah, we're good.
It's like
so
the opening.
awesome.
Yeah, it's just there's a few movies where the opening scene you're just like, oh man,
Yeah,
I'm locked in.
yeah. I was like, we can change it after the intro, but like, let me see the vampire rave
Yeah.
scene, and we're good.
Well,
for
it's
that.
like the opening scene to Point Break 2, aka The
Thank
Fast
you.
and the Furious.
Thank you.
That was a gift. from
Thank you
ATV.
very much.
Where that opening scene where they're robbing the trucks, and
Oh,
cars
yeah.
are I mean,
It's a cool.
if your adrenaline wasn't running
yeah,
after that first scene, see a doctor.
right.
Because it was just that. It was hype. It was
Yeah.
all hype,
Oh, yeah,
and it
definitely.
was super great.
And again, I do like those movies, but
They're
If you
simply,
just-
in your mind, a continuation of
what could
Point
have
Break.
been?
Yeah.
Right. I just fill in those.
If they made Point Break a franchise.
This is possibly what could have happened.
Yeah.
So
Except for when they took that hard left turn and started
in a
jumping
couple-
cars between buildings in Dubai.
and in a couple weeks, I'm still trying to talk you into.
I'm going to go see Hobbs and Shaw.
We're gonna go see some.
It's gonna
Hobbs and
happen.
Shaw.
Yeah.
So
Stay tuned for that.
because it's gonna be we're at the end of our little list. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, we got to make a new list. In fact,
Today was the last one on
it's the
our
last
list.
confirmed activity.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing next week.
We do know what we're doing next week.
Um,
We're rolling with the punches now.
yeah, and then we're gonna fly by this. It's gonna be like the old days.
I know.
Where
we're
we-
just like, what are
We
you doing
sat
this
down
week?
on Monday and go, "Hey, what movie are we going to watch and review tomorrow?"
Yeah, we kind
We
of
can be a little more, have a little bit more forethought. But
for next couple weeks, and we'll
yeah,
we'll
but
get
for
it
the next
figured
couple
out.
weeks, things are a little up in the air.
Yeah, that's okay though. But this last one in our list being Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
The 9th film by Quentin Tarantino.
If you say so.
The
Listen,
movie poster says so.
and my and my disclaimer in that, because just owning the fact, I do enjoy certain Quentin Tarantino movies. I don't dislike any.
Sure.
I can't name any that I dislike off the top of my head.
All right.
But you are quite the Quentin Tarantino fan.
I do enjoy Mr. Tarantino's work.
So, and again, my disclaimer that I can't name one that I dislike. I just can't. I'm not. Oh, the next Quentin Tarantino movie is out.
Oh, see, and I am. I'm like, oh, new Tarantino flicks coming
There's-
up. I'm gonna go see
There's
that.
still some that I haven't seen that I'll probably get smacked. Like, still haven't actually seen that Hateful Eight. I haven't sat down and watched it.
Fair enough.
Not that I.
It was really good,
Yeah.
but
Not that
I get it.
Right. Not that I'm like trying to actively avoid any.
Sure.
I like Reservoir Dogs. I like Pulp Fiction. I like Kill
Yeah.
Bill movies. But
But that one, you just, listen, they're not for everybody.
right. And all in all, I think we can
For
agree.
sure.
This movie in particular, and what I know of Quentin Tarantino
This is
movies,
a movie for the fans, I felt.
but it was one of those. There's one Tarantino scene that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that,
Not so much.
not so much. That builds up to
Yeah.
this spontaneous kind of moment,
Yeah.
and
The
it's
big-
awesome.
What's
You're like-
going on
And
here?
I'm sitting there going, "That was awesome,"
Yeah.
because it's bloody and gory and
And it's everything you expect out of a Quentin
Yeah.
Tarantino movie.
but the rest of it was kind of, for me.
But it was chock full of the type of dialogue and storytelling
Right.
that you expect from a Tarantino film.
Right, and I guess
It just didn't have as much of the action, kind of
it had a lot of
the
awesome
other
dialogue.
stuff that you tend to associate with films from him.
Right. Well,
And
and
try
I guess
not to repeat his
for-
name 1,000 times
Right.
because it's a mouthful.
that's
but
yeah. Well, and I guess for anybody that hasn't, think of a kind of I was going to try and give some kind of summary of what this movie about, which is really hard. But
it's hard to do without spoiling the whole movie.
It takes place in 1969.
68.
68, yeah, late 68.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And it's Leonardo DiCaprio as a one-time successful actor, now kind of at the end of his...
He's at the end of his career. He's trying to make a decision on what his next move is going to be.
And then Brad Pitt being his kind of best friend stunt double.
Yeah.
And if Leonardo DiCaprio's not getting any work, he
Then
certainly hasn't been.
Neither is he. And
he's been more of, his assistant.
handyman,
Yeah.
driver, personal assistant.
Right. And so...
He draws a salary from Leonardo DiCaprio's
Right.
character.
And so it's kind of Leonardo DiCaprio's character kind of struggling. A lot of little cameos by, good actors. Al Pacino shows up,
Yeah.
does his little bit. And it's pretty
the
cool.
cast is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's really cool nostalgia-wise. I mean, I wasn't alive in 1969.
Nope, me neither.
But it was very, I was going to say accurate to the time, but they did a really good job of making you feel like you were in 1969.
That they did.
And
I
a
mean,
lot of...
similarly to how, we just talked about Stranger Things a couple weeks ago.
Right.
How they did a great job of immersing you in that era.
Right.
And this film does exactly that as well.
Right. And it's really cool kind of being in that Hollywood, 1969 Hollywood. And then it's him kind of trying to get work.
Well, and what I thought was interesting was how, again, there's some huge names in the cast.
Right.
That all have, all but two have very small yet all very important roles.
Yeah. Margot Robbie is Sharon Tate.
Yep.
Which, from people of any kind of, as we were discussing,
This must have been Luke Perry's final performance.
It was. It was kind of sad. It was a sad little moment.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, hey, all right, man, going out in a Quentin Tarantino, film, had a little bit part.
Yeah.
As an actor. Just going to one of those things. I was talking with my wife the other day of being an actor, and I thought of it during the movie because Leonardo DiCaprio is playing different. He's playing a role, playing multiple roles.
He's just a dude.
He's playing an actor, playing
pretending to be a dude,
right.
dressed up like another dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way of it. It's like he's
It was Inception, but if Quentin Tarantino.
How many layers?
Yeah,
because it's him pretending to be an actor, being an actor.
He's an actor pretending to be an actor.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, and
how impressive.
I love how they switched back, and again, they switched back and forth between clips of his movies,
right,
to real life,
right,
and it was just, I don't know, I found it immersive. When we left, I loved it, but I can't tell you why.
100%.
But I loved it.
Well, and maybe I'm not going to say that I loved it. I enjoyed it. But what was the first question I asked you when the credits started rolling?
What was the point?
There, at the end of it, there was no, for me, like...
Yeah.
There is and there isn't. Because there's like a weird, I'm going to call it like an M. Night Shyamalan, Quentin Tarantino, like twist at the end.
For sure.
Because of actual historical events.
Well, and that's the thing is, yeah, he's using this. It's like this weird. It's like he does. He'll use this weird camera angle, and then at the last second shift angle, and the scene's completely different. Right. And that was the entire movie.
Yeah, you're just kind of because this is all 1969 Hollywood, which some big thing happened during it. That is the sprinkled story that this kind of, I don't want to say it revolves around. But it's kind of... No,
but it's very intricately intertwined.
Which is Charles Manson.
And the family, we have Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski as characters in the movie.
Right, because they are the neighbors of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And, who is a...
Rick Dalton.
Yeah.
He's a spaghetti Western actor.
Who's a made-up... He is a made-up character, but Sharon Tate.
Yeah,
Roman
so
Polanski.
yeah, it's this
We're
weird
not.
combination of real people that actually existed interacting with made up characters.
Right. Bruce Lee, is
Yeah.
there as a version of, an arrogant Bruce Lee.
There's a scene, and I think this is in trailers, so I don't feel bad if this is spoiling.
I was going to say.
But
I was a little
there's a scene when
disappointed because
Brad
it is in
Pitt
the
fights
trailer.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That is just a treasure.
Oh yeah, I found myself probably out of any Quentin Tarantino movie that I can think of laughing out loud.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of
Numerous.
really, really funny moments.
One point I don't think anybody else in the theater was laughing at. I was laughing hysterically, just because I have a weird sense of humor and just very much enjoyed it. I don't want to ruin it because it's
Yeah, there's a couple moments where I'm sure that maybe I wasn't supposed to be laughing, but
oh yeah.
here I am anyway.
At the big Tarantino scene that we were talking about, I was laughing hysterically
Oh yeah, the whole time I'm just like,
as I'm sitting next to like an old dude.
here it is.
Yeah, there's an old dude. Like this is a long movie. And
Yeah, that clock's out at like 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Yeah, the old guy next to me had to get up and go to the bathroom, and at one point, yeah, was it
pretty
twice?
sure I saw him get up
Yeah,
twice.
it was, and I was just like, okay, like you got to put your time in.
Yeah,
Um,
I was regretting my large soda by the end of it.
I gotcha.
I gotta get out of here.
I gotcha. It was just one of those. Oh, okay, we're ready for the credits. But I did ask the question of
What was the point of this whole thing?
because like there was a
And the
lot-
answer to that question is
Or-
because.
right. It's yeah.
That's it.
But I didn't hate it. But I had to ask myself. I'm like, okay,
So,
where the characters end up, I'm just kind of like,
but here's the cool thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the plot was kind of meandering.
Right.
It wandered like hobbits searching for a volcano. But at no point in the movie did I think to myself, when is this thing going to be over?
no. The only thing I found myself in it kind of falls back into the Tarantino style.
Mm-hmm.
That there was some scenes that I'm like, okay, we're in the car driving. We're still in the car driving. We're still like just
yeah.
scenes that went on like where I found
It's
myself
intense character development for a movie that there will certainly be no sequel for.
yeah,
It's character development at a level that you would think is meant for a sequel.
right.
Like to set up for a franchise almost. It's
And there's
if this was a 300-page book, there's 112 pages of character development. But there's not going to be a series to follow it.
right, and I guess my point in it is there were scenes of them like driving in a car, like music playing, like no talking, just scenes that for me, I'm like
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, yep, this is almost a 3-hour long movie. 4 scenes like that. There's some where it's
Sure.
like there was a scene with Brad Pitt watching TV.
Again, it's character development.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we're
And I hear you because
scene is going
that
somewhere.
specific scene, it was literally Brad Pitt comes home,
feeds his dog.
feeds his
Which
dog,
was
makes
like-
him dinner.
It's like
But-
him making mac and cheese.
But it was I'll give you the point of that scene,
Right.
was to show you that the difference between
The two of them.
his character Cliff Booth
Right.
is the stuntman, and Rick Dalton is Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Every movie they've ever made, they made together.
Right.
But the dichotomy between the actor and the stuntman,
Oh,
that's the point of that scene.
right. I agree
Nothing
with
more.
it. But it was one of those things where you're doing.
Could he have made
and
it shorter? Yeah, but then it wouldn't have been him.
And that's what I mean. That there's some Tarantino scenes. I'm like, okay, I get why it's
Yeah.
2 hours. I'm not saying they're horrible scenes. They're neat little scenes.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of like, okay, and we're still at that. But you get it. And then he took
Yeah.
care of his dog better than essentially he took care of himself.
Absolutely.
So I get it.
Beautiful dog, too.
Oh, right. It pulled off in the end.
You listen, it works out.
Yeah. So it's just one of those scenes where you're like, okay, now he's just sitting there watching TV, and you think like the phone's gonna ring and he's gonna get
He's going to go do something.
It just
No.
it just cuts and it's on to the
The
next
time is
scene.
now.
You're like, okay,
Yeah.
Or they're driving the car. Cut to still driving the car. Cut to still driving the car. You know, and you're like, okay, they're driving.
We get it.
We've established that they're driving.
Yeah. Driving is happening.
They're about to have some kind of conversation. No.
Nope.
Just in the car driving. All right. That works. But I didn't hate it.
Again, it all
It's weird.
established. It all worked well to establish the relationship that these two people had, which turned out to be incredibly important
Oh, to the
by the end of the film.
Right. But yeah, then you're at the end and you're like, okay,
This is over.
that was it.
There's even a fun
Right.
little listen. If you go see this, and again, if
we
you're
even
a
made
fan,
a joke about it.
yeah, the film ends, the credits roll, and I'm about to get up and I turn and I go, I don't think Tarantino's really gonna put a post credit scene right now.
Yeah. And it's not
And then he did.
post, but it's during.
It's a mid credit.
Right, mid credit. So you're
So if you go
and
see this,
and it's
stick
entertaining.
around. Listen, you've already been there for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Stick around for an
The
extra 5.
credits go pretty fast though.
Yeah.
Um,
Stick around for another 5 minutes and check out the scene in
Yeah.
the middle of the credits. It was good,
we were sitting there kind of BSing, as we tend to do,
as we do.
and even joking about the fact we're like, well, we can probably get up and leave because there's no
There's probably
mid
not going to
credit,
be
no
a.
post credits, and then there's a little
There it is.
thing.
We were wrong.
So, but I mean, all in all, like I'm not a Tarantino, but I didn't hate it by any means. There was just certain things where I go, okay,
Which
that's
is
kind of
pretty typical of a
Right.
Tarantino movie.
exactly.
So,
They're unlike other movies.
they are not the same.
But the whole, Manson family murder,
It's a part of it.
it's sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of part of the overall thing. But yeah, with a twist.
A lot of cause and effect going on.
Little twists that Tarantino does.
For sure.
Kind of going, what if?
But yeah, for me, again, if you like it, if you like this kind of movie, if you like Quentin Tarantino as a director and writer, go see it.
Definitely.
He filmed it. I was gonna look that up and I forgot to. I think he even filmed it on celluloid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To kind of give it that look.
Yeah.
No, it has a really cool
I
look
think
to it.
he did that.
And so kind of speaking as someone who is not a diehard Tarantino fan, I haven't seen all of his work. I've liked certain movies of his, and okay, cool. I enjoyed it. I just can't tell you why.
Yeah. Well, he worked on the screenplay for 5 years.
Okay,
Interesting.
all right. If you say so.
Yeah, I thought that's
No, I
what
get
this says. I thought I saw somewhere where he recorded it on celluloid, which
He does that. He did that.
which
Again,
people don't do. In case you don't know,
Yeah.
everything's recorded
Digital.
digitally
Yeah.
anymore, because the process for editing is so much more intense.
Well, and he
on
did
on
the same thing
celluloid.
with Hateful Eight.
Yeah, he did that one.
gave it
He
that
recorded that
whole-
one in 8mm. I
Yeah.
think.
He did, but it kind of gave it that old Western
Mm-hmm.
kind of look, and everything. But he did that. I mean, it looked awesome, and it's a good movie. It's hard for me to sit there and be like, why I enjoy
It's
it.
not a summer blockbuster by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and
It's
I think,
not that kind of a movie.
Yeah,
And it's not Pulp Fiction, and it's not Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of like The Revenant,
okay,
and as far as like the type of storytelling that he does.
Right.
So
yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna give it my review of. I don't know if it's for me. I'm not saying I'm gonna say rent it. For me,
okay,
it's gonna be my
and I'm
over.
with you. If you kind of like Tarantino movies, but it's not like you're not like, oh, this is so great, then yeah, go ahead and rent it.
Yeah.
But if you are a real Tarantino fan, then this
You've
is
probably already seen it.
this is a solid movie. So
Yeah. It's really cool. Has some, again, I was laughing hysterically and some
Lots of
really
good stuff.
cool scenes. Brad Pitt freaking
nailed it.
He hasn't been in anything in a while, and
Yeah, and he owned this one.
I stick to my thing. I feel like it was more his movie
Than it was Leo's movie.
than it was Leonardo DiCaprio's
Absolutely,
movie.
I agree.
There was more story and backstory for him, and more. I felt more for him and his character than Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, okay, like freaking nailed it, but
Yeah,
I feel like it's more Brad Pitt's movie.
I agree.
So
That's it.
that's it.
Time's up.
It's
Time to move on.
Don't have to go home. Can't
Gotta
stay
get
here.
out of here. Thank you guys
Yes.
for watching.
Thank you.
For liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that fun stuff. We really do appreciate you. And we'll be back
Stay
next
posted.
week.
Yeah.
We're gonna check out The Boys
Always.
on Amazon for next week. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And until next time, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we're out.
Go get it!